Greetings, 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 beautiful Black people. How are you doing today? We'll wait a few minutes, let a few people come on in. I'll go ahead and bring our brother into the live stream.
That's
all
good.
The way from
Yes.
Nigeria. Greetings,
Yeah.
brother Akwa. How are you?
Thank you, Sister Nana. I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine. We tried to get you on the live stream during the Africa Day celebration, but the internet it was shaky on my side, and then it was shaky on your side. It just wasn't working out that day, but hopefully
That's
today.
True. No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. But you see that this time is good. 12 midnight is good here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because most of the people are sleeping and the lines are open.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we definitely wanted to get you back because you are on to something that a lot of our people are interested in, and that's alternative energy. So before we get into it, though, I'm going to give you a few minutes to tell our people a little bit about your background.
Well, that's interesting. Thank you, my sister. My name is Edward Ntui Okey. I really prefer my middle name, which incidentally is my first name. But in our Christian background, when I baptized, I was given Edward. So Edward became my first name. Whereas at birth, the name I was given was Ntui. And if you look at my documents and presentations in Barbados, the Caribbean, it was Ntui I was using. Because my brothers and sisters there kept on asking me, tell us your real name. Tell us your real name. Edward is not your name. Right. So that's my name.
Right.
I was born in Nigeria.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but when I'm in Ghana, I do that too. When I'm talking to my brothers and sisters, and they give me some European name, what they call their Christian name, I'll say, "But that's not your name. So tell me your name."
Yes. I know. So I was born in Nigeria, and I grew up here, did my second degree here in Nigeria. I lectured in a university here in Nigeria. Then I got a Commonwealth scholarship, and I had a choice to go to UK, Canada, Australia, and other Commonwealth countries. But no, I chose Barbados. Sorry, I chose Trinidad. So I went on a Commonwealth scholarship on the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and that's where I did my PhD. And after that, I was in the University of the West Indies. After that, I did a postdoc in the US for 1 year, and then I got the job with the same University of the West Indies in Barbados campus this time. So I then relocated with my wife, my family to Barbados, and that's where we've been from 1997 to 2010, when I had a project to do in Nigeria. My family is still in Barbados because my children were schooling there and so on, and my wife had to stay with them. So while I was in Barbados, I formed a non-profit organization called the Caribbean African Association of Barbados. And the objective of that association was to connect the Caribbean and the entire Black diaspora to Africa. And I did a couple of jobs on that line, and the government recognized it and appointed me the advisor to the Prime Minister on African affairs in the form of coordinator of the Trans-African Center for Trade, set up a Pan-African Center that is in the Prime Minister's office, and I was appointed to coordinate that center. So my primary responsibilities were to link the government of Barbados and the people of Barbados to Africa, and I did that to the best of my ability. We had connections in Africa, Ghana, South Africa, Botswana, and so on. And we did quite a lot of things. And one of the things we did in that regard was, that was 2003, I led a trade mission to Nigeria. And we met with the president then and some governors. And we got some favor with the governor of a state, Governor Tar. And because the connection was, Governor Tar's wife was from Barbados. Incidentally, she's late now. So he was more in tune with what we were doing and what we were talking about, because we wanted renewable energy or alternative energy. And Barbados has a strength for solar water heaters. So that was what we started with. And unfortunately, that business did not go well because the governor wanted to politicize it. Even when we advised him that we should do it purely as a private venture. And instead of the governor listening to our advice, because he needed to use it in his campaign, he started campaigning with it. And the people looked at it as if it was a government venture, and therefore this. And so when the next governor came in, because it took off in 2006, and the next governor came in 2007. And when he came up, they started playing their political gimmicks, and that's how that business collapsed. So I went back to him and I told him, I said, this was what I was telling you, that we should do this thing as a private venture. And I gave him several reasons. I said, in 2010, I went to China, and to my greatest surprise, I discovered that about 70, 80 to 90% of companies in China were privately owned. And I sat back and I was wondering, how would a communist country move in this direction? And Nigeria, that is a capitalist country, we are wanting to do companies and businesses and projects on government's ticket. It cannot work because governments cannot run businesses. Business is the responsibility of the private sector. So I tried to sell that idea, but it didn't go well. So whatever it is, I have had this experience and this passion. I sent you that documentary when I was in Barbados in 2005. Because while in Barbados, I was always on the air, either on television, radio, or on print media. Anytime anybody needed something, the crew would come to me and ask questions. And of course, I had the information to give. And I think I did a lot because we had a problem in Barbados and the Caribbean, and probably also in the US, where the image that Africa was projected was very negative. So I took on upon myself to try to correct some of those impressions. Because like I said, there's no place that is totally negative. You will have the positives and you have the negatives. And whatever you're seeing in Africa, I told them always, I said, yes, there are enormous challenges in Africa. There's no doubt about that. But the beauty in that is that each of those challenges can be turned into a business venture. That is my take. Let's turn those challenges into profitable businesses. There is no light in Africa. Fine. Can you come and set up so that we can have light, and you make that as your business and the people will pay? We don't have water in Africa. Can you come and take that as your business and supply water to every home and the people will pay? You can imagine the kind of money you will make.
Right.
In fact, in 2003, in 1999 or so, I came to Nigeria and discovered that they have not had cell phones at that time. I went back to Barbados and I was on air. I told them, I said, I have seen a market for cell phones. Let's go into Nigeria and establish a cell phone company. Nobody took me seriously. I tried to explain to them. I said, if you take the entire Caribbean population that you say you want to cover, the entire Caribbean population is not a population up to a population of a village in Nigeria.
Right, right.
So if you come to Nigeria, you're going to have 100 times the number of clients that you sell phones to. They didn't take me seriously. And what happened? A white South African came from South Africa and established MTN. And that is what everybody is using here.
Right, 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 right. And you know, I have been saying this, and I keep telling my people and those, hello everybody that's coming in, but this is something I've been saying from the beginning, that the opportunities, there are so many opportunities right now because Africa has been underdeveloped for so long. If you get in on the ground floor on something, you can really become a very wealthy person. And this is the same thing that Akon has been saying. Right now is the perfect time to get on the African continent and do something, because they need everything,
Okay. Yeah. So when I said that and they didn't take me seriously, before 1 or 2 years, a white South African came from South Africa and established MTN. And that became the number one, phone provider, cell phone company in Nigeria. And I went back to Barbados. I said, this was what I was telling you people, but nobody took me seriously. I then talked of the airline. I said, Virgin Atlantic says their most lucrative route is Lagos-London route. It's not London, US, it's not London, Italy, it's Lagos, London. That was, and it is their still main lucrative route. Why can't those who have money come to float an airline in Nigeria? As we speak, the Nigerian Airways is not functioning. There's no Nigerian Airways again.
Right.
So Virgin Atlantic took the route fully. That is another opportunity. Right. Like I'm just still trying to push across. Whatever challenges and problems we have in Africa are all business opportunities.
Right, absolutely.
Now the issue of electricity is one of our key problems in Nigeria and in Africa. As I'm speaking to you, I'm using a lamp because there's no electricity. And as far back as 2003, I came to Nigeria and started talking about alternative energy. At that time, I told them, I said the 21st century that is coming will be the renewable energy century. And people were kind of doubting. Up till now, some are still doubting. But I tried to give them a little history. When coal dominated the energy sector, that was centuries ago, scientists came up with the idea that fossil fuel was going to replace coal. People doubted, but it happened. And today we have seen fossil fuel as the main energy supplier.
Right.
Now scientists are coming up again to say alternative energy is going to replace fossil fuel. And people are still doubting. And it's going to come to pass.
Right.
Because renewable fossil fuel is becoming depleted. And with all the accumulated negatives that goes along with it, environmental pollution, global warming,
right,
climate change, all of that. People are moving. And my sister, if you've taught Europe, I've been to Italy, Germany, Spain, and what have you. Those countries have 10s and 20s and 50s megawatts of solar systems. Mm-hmm. And these are countries that don't have any amount of sunlight compared to what we have in Nigeria and Africa generally.
Right.
So if they could tap into this energy, free energy that God has given to us, what are we doing? Right. When I talk to people in Nigeria, they are still procrastinating whether they should jump on or not. And I tell them, I said, the train has moved. You better jump in or you'll be left behind.
Right, right. I know that Morocco has a huge solar. Morocco has a huge solar. Yeah.
Farm. Yes, there's some of those West African countries that they do. I mean, North African countries. But the truth of the matter is that every African country is a potential solar electrification setting.
Right.
And I told in 2017 or so, I attended a conference in London, and I delivered a paper on the renewable energy potential of Cross River and Akwa Ibom state. Those are my states, you know. And when I finished my presentation, a white guy in his comments said, then Dr. K, you know, I'm really very surprised with what is going on here. I said, what's going on? That if the tables were turned around, that the Europeans were to occupy Africa, that everything by now would have been powered by solar. I said, brother, I don't doubt you. I agree. And I felt bad. And what is this solar technology? It's a very simple. When I went to China, I saw those little girls and boys fixing the panels and all that. The theory behind it is well known to us. We have electrical engineers. We have mechanical engineers. Why can't we put our heads together and produce a panel? What is the problem? What is the problem other than the wheel?
I wish I knew the answer. I don't know, because it's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous.
No, it's ridiculous. Because part of it is that we have been trained to wait for the West to do things for us. Therefore, our brains are no more functional. That's part of the problem. And I look at all of this. I said, let me look at what this thing is. I read some theory in it. Oh, there's solar power that comes from the sun, which is the ultimate source of energy for everything else. That rays that comes, if it strikes certain substances like silicon, electrons are released. And the movement of those electrons is the electricity. So what we need to do is to get that substance. The basic one that is being used now is silicon. You place it under a glass and capture the rays to strike on those silicon materials. Electrons are released, and you capture those electrons in a cable. Because the electricity that comes from the sun is direct current, you need to do a conversion. But before then, there's a problem that is seen in photovoltaic, that you have to store the energy. Fine. Batteries have been manufactured. So you connect that into a battery, but before you take it into a battery, you have to pass it through a charge controller. A charge controller will regulate how much charge goes into your batteries. Otherwise, it may damage your batteries if it is overcharged. Then from there, you then connect it to your battery and store. And from your batteries, you pass the current through an inverter that converts the direct current to alternating current, which is the current that we use in all our appliances. And it's as simple as that. So what is there? What is there that we cannot do? You look at the wind turbines. Wind is kinetic energy. All we do is we want to convert kinetic energy into electrical energy. And there are wind turbines and rotaries and all those technologies that are available. Science and technology have made things these days to be very easy. Very easy. That we can adapt this technology, use our engineers, and couple a system that suits our purpose. But what excites me most is why my interest is energy. I ask myself, what is this energy? I started searching for definitions, and I got one that is very, very interesting. It simply says energy is the force multiplier that enhances man's abilities to convert raw materials into finished goods and services. Sister, can you get that definition? What does that tell you?
Force multiplier
that enhances man's abilities to convert raw materials into finished goods and services.
Finished goods. I got it. Okay.
So exactly. So if you look at what energy does, that's why it is called power. There's a direct correlation between energy and development. The countries that are said to be developed today are well connected with the amount of energy they generate and utilize. And the countries that are poorly developed have lower energy production. So there is a direct correlation. If you want to develop, you must produce energy. Why is it so? Because development is hinged on technology. And technology is hinged on energy. So energy becomes the base for technological drive. As I speak to you, the current generation capacity of Nigeria is below 5,000 megawatts. 5,000 megawatts. And do you know what South Africa generates? South Africa generates about 40 or 50,000 megawatts. And they have a population of about 50 million people. So if we go by that, then Nigeria is supposed to generate 200,000 megawatts. As I speak to you, we generate less than 5,000. In fact, they said it's 3.4 thousand megawatts. So at the rate we are going, it's ridiculous. At the rate we are going, my sister, even the next century, we cannot make and get 24 hours light in Nigeria at the rate we are going. If what we need is 200,000 megawatts and we are still battling, after 60 years, we are still battling with 3.4 thousand megawatts. So if there's one area of business that we should get involved in, it's renewable energy. And we are not going to compete with we are not going to compete with the government in their grids because those cables are already dilapidated. So distribution through their lines are not even effective. So we'll go with home standalone systems, solar systems, so that we go from house to house, we'll make effective advertisement, sensitize the people, so they pick those systems and put in their homes, and they have their 24 hours light. My neighbor, that's what he's using. But if I tell you that the application of solar in Nigeria is probably 0.001% of the energy mix, it's almost non-existent. Why? Because people are not knowledgeable enough to understand that that is what we all need. That's why I have been so passionate with this project that let's form a consortium and bring our resources together and put a large setting of probably 20 or 15 to 20 million. It has to be a big, I talk like my other friend, my brother from Zambia, who said he thinks big. You remember him? Yes. So we're coming into a system like this. We have to think big because Nigeria is a large market. We can't come and do any tiny thing. And most so, the another advantage is that we have rights to market our products in the entire West African ECOWAS market.
Right.
16 countries. But even in Nigeria alone, if we are able to control the solar market in Nigeria, then we are done because the market is huge.
Right, right.
So that's my passion. And for the past 20 years, I have been talking about these things. What has kept me from implementing is that I had always needed partners to work with me because it's not a tiny business that you can do in your backyard.
Right.
We need about 20 acres of land because we want something very comprehensive.
Right.
We're going to look at the various 5 key areas of renewable energy. We'll set up a laboratory for solar. We'll set up a laboratory for biomass, where we do our biogas and biodiesel and the conversion of biomass to energy. We do a setting for wind energy. We do a lab for hydro. So there's a lot that we will do. And the way I am looking at it is that we can take a 5-year development program. The first and second year will be for construction and installation of equipment. But within that 1 and 2 years, we will liaise with whatever companies we need overseas to manufacture these solar systems and use our company name so that we begin to market them before we start producing ours. That's a business strategy that at that level, instead of waiting for our factory to start producing, we have started already getting the market. So this project, we are going to do very strong research and development department, because the key to progress is research and development. 2, we're going to look at system production. 3, we'll look at marketing. We'll look at consultancy. And then we also look at energy efficiency. So even when we start, while we are building and constructing, we can go into the market with consultancy. Talk to our hotels or hoteliers. Talk to our top business people. Educate them in the need to go into solar electrification. So by the time our factories are ready, we already have gotten the market for the products.
Right.
No. So I see it as a very profitable business, and we'll handle it to cover the rural areas, the towns, and the cities, because we'll be able to produce systems at different cost levels. The rural people may not be able to pay as much, so we go low with the systems we provide for them. But we can also link with the government to use our company and provide photovoltaic systems or solar electrification to rural areas. We can do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there are a lot of projects. They have what they call rural electrification department in the Federal Ministry of Power. But they are just there.
Right.
So we'll go with them, we'll go to them with projects that, look, we can provide a 2.7 or 2.5 megawatt solar system in this community, in that community, in that community, and this is what it will cost. And the government will award those contracts to us, and we do it. As I speak with you, the tiny companies in Nigeria that are doing solar are just doing those tiny things where they carry one panel and come and put in somebody's roof, and buy one panel from China and come and put another panel. No, that's not the kind of thing I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, when we start what we are doing, all of them will fall under us, because those companies don't have, they don't have a research and development capacity. They don't. They rely only on importations, and we are not going to do that, because we're going to produce those things ourselves. So I am very passionate about this business, and I know that it is going to work. It's a profitable business.
Right.
In fact, what came to my mind was that instead of my initial idea was to set it up in the university. But I discovered that when we do that, we will not make the kind of profit I want us to make. So we can set it as an independent business, but has a research and development unit, which would have been the center if we were to set it up in the university. So that second option is a better option for us, because it will be more profitable to do it that way. So that is what I see. And hello?
You have quite a few who are asking the questions that you have. Some people are asking for your contact info because they want to work with you on this. Some people are asking, it says, have you considered to partner with countries that already have solar power systems?
No, the countries that have solar power system, the truth in Africa is that if you go to Morocco to do a business within Africa, it's not easy. Yes, the systems are in Africa, I mean in Morocco, but the solar farm in Morocco is not a company. Some European company had liaised with Morocco to install that for them. So you cannot go to them to say bring solar to Nigeria, because they don't have that capacity. Even if you go to other African countries,
they just bought the equipment.
They just bought the panels
equipment from somebody.
Exactly. No, bought the panels and the controllers and the batteries and all that, and set up a system to provide electricity. So they are not in a position to go into any kind of business. Yep.
Right. This another sister asked, are there any African companies that make solar panels? Now, I know in Ghana there are some small solar panel. There's some small companies in Ghana that are making solar panels. But I don't think they make the batteries.
Let me tell you. No, they don't make the batteries, but let me tell you what they do. Just like other construction, Japan says they make Toyota cars, but it's not every part of Toyota car is made in Japan. So it's the same level that is in solar technology. You do one thing and you get the rest from other companies and then couple together to form your system. As I speak today, there are no real companies in Nigeria that produce solar panels. All they do is that they buy the panels and then come and fix them. You get the point?
Mm-hmm.
They buy the panels and come and fix them. That is not what we are talking about.
Yeah.
And those companies they are operating at very small capacities, because the entire energy mix, like I said today in Nigeria, the entire energy mix has like 0.001% alternative energy. So it is almost non-existent. You can find one or two panels here and there, but in a country where you need 200 megawatts of electricity and you're only generating 3.4 megawatts, I mean, even if you have 20 companies producing solar panels in Nigeria, you still make profit.
Right. Right.
That's what I told them with the cell phone. That yes, MTN has come. We have another company called Airtel. We have about 3 companies. But I am telling you today that if we have 10 other companies coming in, they will still make profit, because there's a large population of Nigerians that are still not carrying cell phones. But that is for cell phone. I'm not talking about that today. We're looking at alternative energy. And I'm saying the market is ripe for us to get into it.
Well, I definitely think it's a wonderful, I agree with you. It is. And it's a wonderful business to get in, because the whole continent of Africa needs this, really. Basically, there's no country on the continent that does not need what you're talking about, which is alternative renewable energy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the question then becomes, how do we raise this money? How do we raise this money?
Well, how we raise the money, entice people to see this business as a business they can be part of. And I suggested the cooperative formula that our friend in Zambia talked about. That's the way to go if we have to stand strong. Cooperative. Use the term consortium. So we all come together and put in monies and make sure that monies are used for what they are supposed to be used for, and we are ready to go.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, we do have a number of people who are interested in this, and they're asking for your contact information. And this is definitely something that I would love to work with you on in terms of trying to secure funding for it.
Okay.
I got so what I would suggest is those who are interested in this, get with me so that we can all get together with our brother and and strategize on the way forward on how we can raise the capital of this venture, because
exactly
it's one idea.
Exactly.
Hadesa, that's what we're trying to do, is get a team together to do it. That's exactly why we're having this, presenting it to the people, find out who wants to get involved. And listen, guys, this is the whole point. This is the thing that I and so many others have been saying. We have the opportunity right now to make Africa be what we want it to be. So many of us are talking about going home, and we know that these people, when they were there, when they went into Africa and carved it up like a cake and took what they wanted, they, all they were doing was taking resources out. they didn't put any effort into developing Africa. Now that's jacked up, but it also creates an opportunity for you today to create that type of generational wealth and leaving a legacy for your children. Now, if we can, for 400 years build up these places, build up America and build up Europe for them, surely we should be able to go home and build up Africa for ourselves and for our people and for our future generations. So this is exactly what we're saying.
That's the point.
There's, we can't complain when other races of people are going onto the continent and reaping the benefits when we can do it ourselves. We can do it ourselves. I repeat, that is it. We can do it.
Exactly.
Yes. All we have to do is come together. Yes, and we can do it. Absolutely. So, and the good thing about alternative energy is you're not going to be destroying the environment or anything like that. So I love that.
Yeah.
And being able to bring light and electricity to our people in the rural areas, in the villages. This is absolutely a wonderful idea. I'm on board 100%. So what we got to do, those of you who are interested, contact me at, I'm going to put an address. It's admin@sankofa.com.
I already have that.
Yeah, but there are people that are watching that are saying they're interested and they want to work with you on this.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yes. Give it to them.
Contact me. Yeah. Now I see some people in the back. Did you give the link to some people? Are they supposed to be contributing something? Because I see somebody named Ed and Arid. Okay.
Arid, that's my wife. That's my wife. Because when you
come on,
that's my wife.
Hello. Wait a minute. We got the missus come on in and say, greetings, our wife. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Hi, sister. I came in a bit late because I had, some other things to do, but I wanted to listen to Ntui. Yeah, it's some idea that he has. He thinks big.
Okay.
And we've actually been trying to promote Africa in Barbados. I am in Barbados right now. So he's in Nigeria, but we hope that something comes out of it. So the support will be great, and we're just here cheering him on. I don't know if the children are in as well, but he had given us a link to join. I greet you all.
Thanks, baby.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. All right, we'll let you go back. All right.
Thank you, sister,
bye.
For bringing my beautiful one.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
So,
she is beautiful. So,
if there are any questions,
all right. So I think we have something to start with.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if anybody have any other questions before we close out. I've given my email address. Somebody said, I love his smile when he sees his wife.
Yes.
Yes, he's supposed to smile.
You saw that I was smiling more when I saw her. Sister.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's good being here.
Right.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, brother. We will.
Thank you very much.
We will do. I want those all the people who contact me. We will. I guess we can create like a WhatsApp group and try to strategize on how to go forward and raise the funds for endeavors. I think is absolutely wonderful. It's something that must be done. We don't really have a choice. It must be done. And so, yeah, let's get it done. Anybody have any questions for our brother before we I'm trying to give them an opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. I don't see anything right now. All right, brother. I know it's late for you. So good evening, and we will be in touch. I'll be in touch.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
I see back there. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay then.
All right, family. So y'all heard it. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Anybody that wants to, help our brother and start this endeavor, man, just hit me up at admin@sankofarepat.com. Sounds like it's gonna be a moneymaker to me. It's gonna be some work though. We got to get in here and hustle and help, and we got to raise the money for it. But ultimately, I see a big payoff. I'm talking about some Bill Gates and what's that other guy name from Amazon, Jeff Bezos. I see some of that kind of money. If we can go. All right. Love you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this informative episode. So take care. Good night. And I will see you all later. Bye-bye.